Cooper, and today we'll be discussing the case Engel versus Vitale, 1962. A little background on this case. A school system in the state of New York authorized a short voluntary prayer for recitation at the start of each school day. The prayer read as follows: Almighty God, we acknowledge our dependence upon Thee and beg Thy blessings upon us, our teachers, and our country. Do you think that parents like this? Not at all. The parents of students at Herrick's High School complained the prayers of Almighty God contradicted their beliefs. Therefore, they filed a suit against the school. Questions at hand. Can the state introduce prayer in public schools? And does this infringe on our First Amendment right to the freedom of religion? In an opinion delivered by Justice Hugo Black, the court ruled that government-written prayers were not to be recited in public schools and were an unconstitutional violation of the Establishment Clause. This was decided in a vote of 6-1. In this case, the decision is no. No prayer in schools, you guys. We can't do it. This case is closely related to the case of Santa Fe Independent School District versus Doe, where the court overruled a Texas law allowing high school students to read a prayer at the athletic event, such as a football game. Do you think that's right? No. All of this goes against our First Amendment. Don't pray in school, folks. Just give it up. The next case that I will be briefly discussing is the case of Morse versus Frederick. A little background behind the case. A high school senior that goes by the name of Joseph Frederick was at an event and held up a banner that read "Bone Hits for Jesus." The principal took the banner and suspended the student for 10 days with a possible expulsion. The student then filed a suit because he felt that his First Amendment right to freedom of speech was being taken for granted. The question is, was the student's First Amendment right actually being tested, or was he just being blatantly disrespectful to the school's anti-drug policies? Well, the courts ultimately sided with the school district because it was found that the student was going against the anti-drug policies of the school. The courts agreed with Morse that those who viewed the banner would interpret it as advocating or promoting illegal drug use in violation of school policy. There were at least two interpretations of the banner's words. They could constitute an imperative encouraging viewers to smoke marijuana, or alternatively that they celebrate drug use and demonstrate that the sign promoted such use. This pro-drug interpretation gains further plausibility from the paucity of alternative meanings the banner might bear. With that being said, I challenge all students to follow the rules that are given to you in the school's handbook. There's no reason to challenge them. This case is related to the case of Tinker versus Des Moines, where students held a peaceful protest by wearing black wristbands to prove their point. The only difference is these students were not blatantly disrespectful. In the case of Tinker versus Des Moines, the courts sided with the students because they did have a right to political speech in school, but the difference is they didn't do it so loud. You know what I mean? They were quiet about it, but they were still proving a point. It's important to remember that silence is power, and people will pay attention to silence before they listen to your words. With that being said, I recommend that everyone think before they make a decision because you never know how it's going to turn out in the end. Thank you for attending the sessions with the Avian Cooper. I do apologize for my appearance, but I hope this was very informative to you all. Have a great day.